Friday, the 30th day of September 2022, and it is 12 minutes past 3 in the afternoon, and I'm just alone by myself, was it, for the time being, while my 80-year-old elderly roommate, that Charlie is out, that, and today I've been doing things like a few small little house chores, and that I had a walk for exercise, and earlier I had my weekday Meals on Wheels meal. Sorry. And as usual, as a person with cerebral palsy and autism, I've been with it on and off the potty chair, intermittently during the day, and changing my dirty diapers. Yes, I wear diapers 24 hours. Well, most of the time, at the daytime I wear diapers, but at nighttime I wear this thing called a condom catheter device, which plugs into a plastic tube, and which of course goes to a plastic bag, which was it I pee in through the night. And I'm not sure if I have mentioned before that there are many adults with disabilities who are also infantlets / adult babies or littles who do wear diapers, not just because they have to wear them for incontinence, but also because they like to wear diapers and regress to being a baby again. Regress back to babyhood. And yes, I do take time every single day to regress back to babyhood and just play with toys and of course in my own way, that with my neurological issues I have no voluntary control over urinating and also defecating. As I said, I am an adult baby who regresses each and every day, but I do have an adult life which I have to take care of myself, do chores, around my house here, and do things like pay my bills, as a senior citizen on a very low fixed income. And of course, I said I take time to be a baby each and every day. Of course, right now I'm using my manual wheelchair to get around the house. And as I said, I take time to, be little. Was it my my 80-year-old roommate is not an adult baby. But he understands and accepts that I am an adult baby, and that of course that I have the developmental disability of autism. Of course, I am verbal, but there are many times when I myself am not verbal, and I just uh, completely cognitively withdraw into myself, and I do things like self rock, hand flap, and of course uh, manipulate objects very closely. That picking things up, snipping them. That I like how uh, was it uh, Tinkle. Tinkle is my biggest teddy bear. I also, uh, as part of my autism, I do get cognitively overloaded a lot of times. As it, which causes me to start going into a meltdown mode, cognitive emotional meltdown mode, and I do uh, need transitional objects to take and bring me down and out of the melt meltdown mode as a person on the autism spectrum. Of course, I don't bother anybody. I just remain here alone, here in my here in my house, and just do my thing. Uh, was it primarily in my bedroom. Was it back there? The back of my house. Was it where I keep most all of my collection of children's toys. That I have a lot of toy cars and trucks that I just really collect and play with. Plus, I also have Fisher Price Little People, and I have some baby rattles that I like to take and play with, and of course, there are plushies like my big giant plush teddy bear friend, which, as I said before, his name is Tinkle. Here in my living room, I have also several other plush toys. Plush animal friend toys. There is Poopy Two Bear. He's a little slightly smaller bear than this. And then another bear that's smaller than that I've named Cretaceous Bear because he wears dinosaur was a costume, and then was it the Aloysius bear, which is a very small bear that I do carry around with me when I'm away from home, and he helps me to take, with it when I'm out to take and pound down was any was it uh, meltdown, cognitive emotional meltdown, that I feel coming on, is it that for me this is far better to was it have to was it used to was it help with maintaining cognitive emotional regulation as a person on the autism spectrum than popping than popping psychotropic medications. And of course, the only medication I'm on for the cognitive emotional health is a very low dosage of escitalopram, or was it Lexapro. I have been on Lexapro for the last, I've been on Lexapro since 2005. That it does help, that help me with some cognitive emotional with self-regulation. And of course, with as a person, I'm also, that said, I'm also a person with cerebral palsy, physical disability since birth. Well, just like my autism, functional level 1. And one thing that I did was not last year, was I bought myself an adult-sized bib, the made in China. But what I did to it was it is in magic marker I put on my bib. With it, you see younger version of my name. I put Daddy's Widow Boy. I love my daddy. To take and try to make it, seem for a to be a baby bib. And of course, I wear this bib not just to be an adult baby, but I also have to wear this bib, when I eat, so I don't make when I really eat, with it as a person with cerebral palsy, to not make a mess. And of course, it's got the catch pocket like a baby's bib. That doesn't contain any mess. That while I'm eating. Of course, I'll wear it a little later, when I have supper. And of course, as I've said, is it I can't be a baby all the time. Is it? shall I say, put it in context, with it, with it, have baby time, the regression baby time, with it, when you need to have it, with it, but with it, be out of baby time, with it, regression time, to take and, do with it, grown-up things, with it, then have some grown-up interests. And of course, with it, I'm just tinkering with electronics, with it, which was my former career, many years ago before I had to literally retire early because of was it issues with autism, with it functional level 1, even though what used to be called Asperger's syndrome, and also was it the issues with my physical body, where with it I just couldn't, with it continue working on trying to with it doing things like heavy lifting and things like that, even as a person on the milder end of the cerebral palsy disability spectrum. And it will, that, and I'm actually happier out of the workforce, with it. But, it has meant that, that, that I lost, was it the equivalent, was it, a 1.5 decades worth of income in later life. But the way it is, when you have lifelong physical and developmental disabilities, that even if you do manage, even when one does manage to obtain, ordinary competitive employment, instead of being in an institution or was it ending up in a sheltered workshop, with it, you still end up, with it being always, with it, the last hired and the first fired, and also you end up never making the same amount of income as a person who is non-disabled. I'm just talking and explaining realities, with it, and of course with it, of living with lifelong physical and developmental disabilities, even if they're on the milder end of the spectrum of disability. And of course, as I've said, there are many people that I do know who have cerebral palsy or autism or both, who are infantilists, with it, slash littles, slash, well, psychological littles, slash psychological adult babies who do regress, and it's not a sexual thing. Many times it is with it. It has to do with being an adult survivor of childhood abuse and neglect, which is the case in my case, because I was raised by a parent, my mother, my late mother, who herself was on the autism spectrum, but she was also a profoundly mentally ill. Plus, also she was also, in herself, a battered child. So it went on 2 generations with my mother growing up, and then with me, through her. And was it? Uh, it's one of the reasons why was that I regressed to being a little, and was it uh, when I am regressed, when I regressed to being little, the age range that I am was it when I'm regressed, and when I play, was it just be in my bedroom alone, all alone by myself, and play with my children's toys that are mine and that nobody else touches. With it is that of a 2 to 6 year old. Sometimes I'm like 2, sometimes like 3, 4, 5, or 6. Depending upon was it how I feel when I do was it let go and regress and let the adult self, let my adult self take and turn off for a while. With it. And then after I've regressed for a while, and be little, I switch back and be a regular, ordinary adult with adult responsibilities and adult things that I like to do. But anyways, I'm just talking a little bit about uh, being physically disabled, developmentally disabled, and on the autism spectrum, and also being an adult baby. That that uh, well, I'll just sign off for now, and I hope I don't get urinated on online. Well, anyways, thank you.